today. From Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida, it's Week 18 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on Sam Darnold and the Carolina Panthers.
Now we're about 5 miles northwest of downtown Tampa at beautiful Raymond James Stadium near Florida's Gulf Coast. With the echoes of cannon blast still ringing in our ears from the north end zone, the Bucs were introduced a moment ago, and they are all set as their guys will do battle with the Carolina Panthers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Buccaneer ball club, and I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They passed the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Here's the punter, Bradley Pinion, on to get us started. And off we go from Tampa. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their 24-year-old quarterback in his 4th season from USC, a former 3rd overall pick, Sam Darnold.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
Darnold on first down. Got his man, Robbie Anderson. And oh, right away, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. First try on offense for the Bucs and their veteran quarterback, Tom Brady. And he just continues to throw touchdown pass after touchdown pass, leading the league here down the final stretch of the year. Guys will say that the numbers and rankings, they don't matter to him very much. But I don't know how much I actually believe that. Sure, he's team first, but I think everyone would. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. And the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that challenge, a successful one. Darnold's throw is caught here by Anderson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, second down. And, Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one, because to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well, but that starts with the organization itself, all the way through. No excuses for guys being out, finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them, and we've seen the results of that. This team knows how to work through things. Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
That caught by Tremble. And this won't be enough. A good secure tackle, and they stop him a few yards shy at the 46. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And some room to maneuver. There he goes right side. He's at the 30. 10, 5, touchdown, Tampa Bay. A big play there. 98 yards. And the Bucs have taken a first quarter lead.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now, you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
Extra point put through by Succop, and it's now a 7-0 game. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And the Panthers coming out now. Partner, just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season, the playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
And Ndamukong Suh makes the tackle. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now it's Darnold. There's Tremble, the tight end. Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. And Charles, you look at this defense, they were a very loose group coming into the week, knowing they kind of had the upper hand going into this one, taking on a team that hasn't won in a month and a half.
And that works well for you if you establish your dominance early in the game against a team that's struggling. But if somehow they fashion some plays together early, knock them back on their heels, that looseness can be used against them. Then they're trying to scramble to make sure they get their game right.
Darnold from the gun. So they get a traffic there, and that's complete. And he is going to have a Panthers first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
And already down 7-0 after the touchdown a minute ago, so a 3-and-out here would not be ideal for them. Nice job finding his receiver there, and they get the first down.
On first down, it's Darnold. He's got the hook up to Moore. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. These two teams, they met in Tampa earlier in the year with the Bucs prevailing in that one. So if they can win here in Tampa, they'd be able to claim the season sweep. Now a 2nd down and 6. On the give, this is Hubbard. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. Well, this defense for the Bucs, they really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
No matter what coverage was called, they were right in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long, step for step, running their routes with them. Turned out they were right there every time the ball was in the air, and they came away with 5 interceptions in that one.
2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. A tough challenge here in this one. We'll see if he can duplicate the numbers on your screen that he put up last week, up over 100 and a touchdown.
We were watching tape to prepare for this game. One thing you noted that I totally agree with, great complementary piece in the last game. You know, they were able to throw it pretty well. He ran it exceptionally, and they hope to continue that same formula in this game.
Complimentary with an E, not an I.
That's my English teacher right there.
112 yards for him now on the ground as he goes over the century mark here. I'd say he's ready for the playoffs ahead, no doubt. They fake the handoff. Now Brady. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. So, Charles, you look at this offense, and really on paper, at least, a great situation for them upcoming. They're unbeaten on the year, an open week coming up after this. So, I guess my question, any worry that maybe this is coming at the wrong time?
Oh, definitely I would be worried about this game, maybe more than any other on the schedule, because I know my guys are looking ahead to that open week. I've got to keep them focused on the task ahead, make sure they take care of business in this one. Otherwise, you're talking about a double trap. The trap of losing the game and then having the open week and having to stew about it.
The Panthers turn to their nickel set here as they get ready for third down. Now Brady. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Jeremy Chin picks it off, and he will return this one to the 30-yard line. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either. Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points. And they'll run on first down with Hubbard. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down. Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up. No, not at all, and you know what else you do? You make your defense mad. Yeah. They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points. And he will get him down a couple yards shy of the first down marker. A nice tackle coming up from his free safety spot. Gonzalez out now to try the Panther field goal. From the left hash, this from 39. Gonzalez's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it? It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal. Again, we see Tom Brady and the Bucs set to take over, and he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball. Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done. One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover. Big thanks to the defense. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Brady now to throw. Looking for Gronkowski, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown. Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll give this to Hubbard running right. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. And that's called winning at the point of attack, isn't it? Right there at the line of scrimmage. I know he's a little bummed out now. He doesn't get credit for a tackle for a loss. But no gain,
his guys will take that.
And speaking of winning, to be as cheesy as we can, he was the winner of the NFC Defensive Player of the Week award from last week, so he's really stringing together some good football.
So not only did he get a gold star, he might have gotten a gold watch too, huh?
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Back to throw, Darnold. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. A shotgun snap for Darnold. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Vita Vea breaking through to get the sack.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And here we go again with Tom Brady in Tampa's offense. Bottom line, he's got to figure things out. He's completed 3 passes, but 2 of them have been to the wrong team so far.
And when we talk about the best quarterbacks, we're usually talking about touchdown to interception ratio, aren't we? And 2 to 1 is acceptable, but the top line guys 3 to 1 or better is what they're looking for. Now we're talking about interceptions versus completions. That's not a ratio should ever be in any discussion.
On play action, it's Brady. Airing this one out for Evans. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So a costly penalty yardage-wise as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations, whether you're playing the man or the ball. And if you're playing the man, you get a lot less leeway in terms of what's going to happen at the end of the play. But if you're looking for the football, it's less likely to draw the flag.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Working from the gun, it's Brady. Goes right side, complete to Gronk. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. They'll try the left side. It's Sullivan. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 138 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game. You and I have talked about it before, but what about the year this guy's had on the ground? You come in as a rookie and in the discussion as MVP.
And people have always told me, running back, one of the easiest positions to break in, but not to...
And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. So 2 drives, 2 touchdowns here in this 1st quarter, and he's got both of them.
He's certainly setting himself up for a big game here, and I think if the play caller doesn't get in his own way, they should keep riding him the entire way of this game. Until the defense proves they can stop him, that's what I would call.
Extra point up and good by Succop, and the lead is up to 8. Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. Abdullah's going to stay put, and the drive will start at the 25. The possession of the football goes over to Carolina. They're kind of searching for that magic elixir. You know, they're moving the football a little bit, but not with any great consistency.
I love that term you just used, elixir, right?
Old school.
Old school. I love that because you don't want to put too much pressure on your defense as well, all right? If you're kicking field goals, that's great, but your defense has to keep going out there and holding the other team. You're not giving them any cushion to work with, and that gets tougher and tougher as the game goes along. Put the ball in the end zone and get sixes. That's the ambrosia that they're looking for.
Ambrosia, and trying to erase this deficit. There was a little space there, yes, but that was a well-executed run by the rookie.
It was, and he wasn't one of the higher-rated rookie running backs coming out. He's probably on the next tier. But let me tell you something. If he becomes more consistent and continues to have that drive to be one of the best, we'll see more of that in the future.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. To throw is Darnold. A high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
He's second in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays a game of great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to... Darnold, he lost the football, and the Buccaneers have it. This defense, Charles, very opportunistic here early. A second fumble recovery in this first quarter of play.
Yeah, you mentioned the right word, opportunistic and aggressive, because once they got the first fumble recovery, they were eager to get a second one, and sometimes they just come in bunches. On the flip side, they've got to figure out how to hold the ball because the play calls seem to be okay. They're just not executing.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down. After one, 14-6 our score on EA Sports. On 2nd and 7, Brady. He's got his big tight end, Gronkowski. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
And he's got Gronkowski. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Rob Gronkowski, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Bucs are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
You got to figure down by the goal line. This is where a tight end earns his money in the high traffic area. And he's able to work free in the middle of the end zone and grabs that one for a touchdown.
Extra point try now for Suckup. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-6. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. There's DJ Moore as he and the rest of the offense head back out there. You would have to think they're going to make it more of a priority to get him the football. You're losing here in the second quarter, and he's been really quiet.
I think all we have to do, and it's too bad we can't actually see the actual play sheet now from the coordinator, because he's looking down at that and saying, okay, do I put him in different spots? Do I try and isolate him? What routes do I run? You're exactly right. They've got to get the ball in his hands and get their offense kick-started.
He does have the 2 catches, but pretty quiet so far. And they'll start on the ground with Hubbard. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. So, Charles, we have reached the end here of a long season, Week 18, which we don't say very often, although this is not the first Week 18 that the NFL has ever seen.
Not at all. And, Brandon, some of the people might be be a little bit too young to remember, but back in 1993, the league experimented with giving teams 2 open weeks for the year. And we also saw Week 18 when the league was on pause for a few weeks in 2001 following the attacks on September 11th.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On the handoff, it's Hubbard. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Darnold. That's caught right side by Anderson. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Here's Darnold. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Darnold, he finds his man, complete. That's more. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Darnold down to throw. Over the middle, complete into the hands of Tremble. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the 1st down.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Anderson. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
From the 9, 2nd and 5. The first run for the backup, Abdullah. And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
He's got it for a Panther touchdown. Anthony Miller, his 9th touchdown of the season, and the Panthers are able to cut into this lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And he's found the end zone twice, and now I'm guessing he's thinking, hey, let's find it 3 times.
And you got to figure from the defensive perspective, how has he gotten there twice? What are we going to do to keep him out for a 3rd time? How do we tighten things down? Because he and his offensive mates, they are really in sync right now.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field. They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
151 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half. Right back to him on first down. And some space here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
And this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 46. Brady. Throw left side complete. That's Sullivan. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. Look at this, a tight end carry. This, the second meeting between these two division rivals. You might recall they met earlier in the year, and it was the visiting Bucs who came away victorious, so they'll look to claim the season series with a win here in Tampa. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Brady to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Sullivan. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
He's had success running the football, and this is more or less an extension of that because they drop it off to him on the screen. And I'll bet he's thinking to himself, if I didn't have to slow up a bit here in traffic, I could have really made something out of that one.
Now a play fake. Brady. Pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Yetur Gross-Matos in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
But nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
He finds his man, complete. That's Sullivan. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. Alex Erickson elects to take it out. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
And the Buccaneer defense for the second straight play, flexing its muscle by forcing a loss.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there. The Panthers on third down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's Darnold. Over the middle, that's caught by Miller. And he is going to have a Panthers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy could be your safety valve we saw right there.
Yeah, and they picked up a first down for him, too.
And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Darnold. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. So mark off the yardage for roughing the passer.
And I've seen this before. On a screen pass, not only are you rushing the passer, you're rushing him deeper than normal. And I think a little frustration kicks in at the end. You're going to hit him anyway when you shouldn't.
Darnold completes it. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Darnold, he finds his man, complete. It's Jansen, and he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. A first down throw, Darnold. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. So that one will be accepted. So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal. They've gone to their fullback quite a bit. He'll get it again. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Giovanni Ricci, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Panthers have got it back to a 1-score game. Well, they weren't messing around. 1st and goal, they don't do anything fancy. They just go to the fullback right away.
I like how you phrase that because oftentimes they come back to the fullback when it's late in the down and distance count, right? In this case, 1st down, let's go get it right now.
And he got it. 6 points on the board. Gonzalez good on the extra point. And the lead is down to 4. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work.
Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Hassan Reddick just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. Throwing on 2nd and long. Brady. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit him over the top, unsuccessfully.
He's going deep for Brown. And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
40 yards on the punt, 2 on the return. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Sam Darnold and the Carolina offense set to take over here. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jamel Dean. And now off to the races down the right side. And it's a pick 6. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. And on that one, with 6 defensive backs, did he need to be more careful throwing the football? I mean, I guess obviously in hindsight he did, but...
Yeah, hindsight, but even in foresight, when you got 6 defensive backs on the field, you just know you're going to get multiple coverages. You're never sure what you're going to see. But the biggest one is you don't have much reaction time for your receivers to go get the football because those guys, they're the best cover guys on the field. They go get it. And on that play, they took it the other way for 6 points.
A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Taken at the goal line. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
On 2nd and 10, Darnold, he finds his man, complete. It's Jansen. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Now Darnold. Call it a loss of 12 that time. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Here's Michael Pilardi now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Taken in at the 22. That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Tom Brady leads the offense out for their next possession. He hasn't had his best day. They have been good running the football, and they have the lead, though, so maybe he just personally wants to improve his play.
And that's without a doubt, because at the end of the game, he wants to feel like he had a really good hand in his team winning, if, in fact, they do go on and get that done. But the bottom line is finding a way to win the game. So if you're not playing that well, but somebody else is on the team, keep going to that hot hand.
Yeah, not over yet, but looking good here in the 2nd quarter. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Ronald Jones, as the first half is winding down. And the Bucs will extend their lead here just before halftime. Just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in after report like they're eligible, but all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Extra point put through by Succop, and the lead is up to 18 now. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive, as he'll take over with just 13 seconds to go before the break. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando. It's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll start in the NFC, a division matchup pitting New Orleans against Atlanta. And it's the Saints who are out in front as that inches closer to halftime. A touchdown there for Alvin Kamara. From there, we head up to the Motor City to check in on the Lions at home at Ford Field. And they trail that one over the visiting Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers carving them up with 3 touchdown passes. Finally, let's get to Philadelphia. Check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Dallas Cowboys. Miles Sanders, 78 yards on the ground. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Cotton and Charles Davis.
Bucs with a lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the third quarter. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see one or two guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
2nd and 8 coming up. Here's Brady. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That reception, his 600th NFL catch. Congratulations, quite the accomplishment. So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 46. Brady going to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Sullivan. Uses the spin. Past the 20. And he is finally out of bounds, just shy of the 5, all the way down at the 6. A huge play there on the screen pass.
I think this defense was still trying to recover from that last play, so you wonder if they were ready for this one. You have to imagine their defensive coaches are yelling at them to get focused, because if they don't, more plays like that will result in giving up points.
He finds his man, complete. It's Sullivan. No gain on the screen there. It's 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and goal, Brady. He's got it. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Buccaneers take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get them over the goal line.
Extra point up and good by Succop. And they open the lead up now to 25. Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think he might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working.
I like how they worked the tight end on a nice little under route there, and if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
A good solid game there on first down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
And again, they'll go right back to their fullback. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48.
And that's why that position was created. Big, powerful, strong guy who can carry the ball and plow forward. That's exactly why you have him on the field.
Darnold will throw it on 3rd and 1. And this is going to be incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. Again, we see Tom Brady and the Bucs set to take over.
He's been a good game manager. They're winning here in the 3rd quarter, but really the ground game is where it's been at for them, hasn't it?
So whatever the game plan was, you just got to focus on continuing to run the football. And really, that takes the pressure off of the guy throwing it around. Doesn't have to be the focal point. Hand it off, let him chew up the yardage and big plays, and your team's winning. The only people upset, the fantasy guys who may have started him at quarterback in their leagues.
And we'll see if they continue with the recipe of the ground game.
Meanwhile, Brady's throw pulled in by Gronkowski. The 30. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. A big play. Brady to Gronkowski. 52 yards. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big 3rd quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. Touchdown! A 15-yard touchdown, Brown. And the Bucs offense continuing to pour it on. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Carolina getting set to take the field. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
A play fake, and it's Darnold. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting. And it's a pick six. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Suckup for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here.
And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though. Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. Here's Michael Pilardi now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now here we go again with Tom Brady and Tampa's offense. They haven't had to rely so much on the passing game. It's really been a team effort in the running game that's kept them successful and has them in the lead.
I like that, too, the team effort, because when I was growing up, one guy carried the football, right? You stuck it in his chest 20 to 30 times a game, and he was the heavy volume, heavy dose guy. Now, you spread it around, different people touching it, and in this game, it's proven to be effective.
And spreading the wealth has been very effective. On 2nd and 11 now. Brady to Evans on the slant. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. To throw is Brady. He's going to wind up and air it out. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
On 1st and 10, here's Brady. And it's caught. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple of seconds mulling over what the penalty
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Extra point try now for Succop. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now onto the field, here come the Panthers. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A give to the fullback on the dive. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Back to throw. Completes it to Miller. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Jamel Dean. And It's a pick six. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Extra point put through by Succop, and the lead will swell by one more. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Carolina offense about ready to go. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
We'll see if they can do it here. 2nd and 11 now.
Well, you don't often see a lot of first down carries by a fullback, and this is probably why. Often better suited for short yards and goal line types of situations. This last carry went for a loss.
That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty, but when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
7 yards on the return after a punt of 39. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Brady going to bring the Bucs up with a 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Going to give this time to the tailback. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They'll keep it on the ground. Sullivan, and he'll get it down to the 47 here.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. What makes a draw play like that? Successful.
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it, but a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. He'll drop this underneath for Jones. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 15-yard line.
Well, I certainly don't want to pile on, but this defense has just not been up to the challenge in this game, and this continues as we see here. Coverage, not been very good, soft in spots. There's an easy throw and catch for another 1st down.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Right side, that's complete to Gronkowski. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. From the 5 now, 2nd and a yard. They go back to the ground with Jones. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. 1 back in the game. That's Jones, 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And this time he is in. Ronald Jones, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Buccaneers look poised to reach 17-0 as they add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Succop. And that will extend this big lead. That time a 9-play drive. And it's Ronald Jones that polishes it off with a touchdown run. Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. On the return, here comes Smith out of the end zone. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The possession of the football goes over to Carolina. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. On 1st and 10, Darnold. And this is going to fall to the ground, incomplete. That very nearly their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down. 2nd and 10. They're going to look to throw. Short throw hauled in by Trimble. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. They'll set up to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he is going to have a Panthers 1st down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2.
And they pick up a 1st down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school full. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Pierre Desir, and his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. He finds some way to turn this into positive yardage as he struggles forward for a pickup of about 2. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll go again to Jones. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Jones, and taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. The running game continues to be a big part of their success here early in the 4th quarter.
And with those types of runs, that tells you that they feel very confident in their running game. They feel very strong at this stage of the contest, and they want to keep doing exactly what we saw there, running the ball down their throat.
They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. On second down, it's Bell, and he's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
I know the game's changed. A lot of people would say it's evolved. Look, I'm a little bit Neanderthal, okay? I love this. No exotic formations, no misdirection. Just line up and run the darn ball, pick up the first down. I love it.
Yeah, 3rd and short. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Shaq Thompson making his presence felt on the sack.
That I'm struggling to understand a little bit. That close to the goal line, first down, run the football. If you want to throw it, throw some play action on second down.
They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. Another try after the first down sack. Trask. Gronkowski's got it on the crossing route. And in for the Buccaneers touchdown. Rob Gronkowski, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And this Buccaneer offense is running away with this one. Well, with that touchdown pass, I'm going to bring up a point from earlier in the year. Some of the fans were saying, when do we turn to the rookie? Well, he's looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, I love the fact that the fans are bringing that up because I'm not the head coach, okay? So he's got to deal with it. But I think it's a legitimate question. With the way their season is going, I think now is the time to turn the page and let him get some starts before this season is over.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Carolina getting set to take the field. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now it's Darnold. He drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll drop to throw. That caught by Tremble. He'll have a first down past the 40. There he goes, right side. The 20, 10, touchdown, Carolina. Tommy Tremble with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Panthers get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Oh, that's pretty impressive, Charles. It's one thing to be an elite speed wide receiver and have all that yards after the catch into the end zone, but from your tight end?
Yeah, you don't get that very often. What you're describing is more like a Tyreek Hill, a Devontae Adams, and Antonio Brown. You're not talking about a guy that lines up or can line up in line and look like an extra tackle on running plays. He took that bad boy downfield just like he was a scat back.
Before the game, he told me, I'm going to have a zinger or two today. And I was like, oh, a zinger or two? I guess that's a zinger, right?
That's a zinger.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Back now comes Tampa Bay. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. A first down run here by Jones as he'll take it forward for a gain of about 4.
So fourth quarter, a nice run there to start this drive. Charles, what do you think the split will be here between run and pass?
Well, partner, I think it'll lean towards the run, but this is also not a time where you just totally do that. You still have to possess the ball, move the sticks, and keep the clock moving as well. So they'll run their offense, but yeah, when they have a chance to run it, they'll do that a little bit more.
And this is incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground.
On third down, Trask. Over the middle, complete. That's Jones.
And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
Trask to throw for it on fourth down. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Jeremy Ching picks it off.
And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. They brought the house that time on the young rookie, maybe a little rattled through the pick.
And you have to be prepared for a lot of pressure as a rookie quarterback because most defensive coordinators are going to test you that way. So when you see that, the ball's got to get out of your hands quickly, and that means your receivers have to understand they have to break off their routes quickly as well.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Darnold. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Vita Vea picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
He's NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Back to throw here. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. It'll go down as a gain of 6. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
It's pretty easy to overlook the fullback when you're making your assignments defensively in the pass coverage game. But in this case, they made him pay for that oversight and picks up a nice gain.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's more. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 57 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
I know we're in the era of wide open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football. We just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge. But I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the fourth quarter.
Oh, he's thinking end zone for Evans, and that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
Bell. And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Le'Veon Bell. His 4th touchdown on the year. And this Buccaneer offense, they're running away with this one. Well, nothing fancy there, Charles. You had 3 tight ends on the field. They were going to run the football. The defense knew it, but the defense couldn't stop them.
And I haven't met an offensive line yet that doesn't get more satisfaction out of running the football into the end zone than pass protecting. They had determination on their side, and they got it done.
Extra point put through by Succop, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Now the offense for the Panthers here getting the football back. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. So the completion good for 7 there, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Good, sure hands there from a guy not accustomed to catching a whole lot of passes. But how about the way he was able to pull that one in and pick up good yardage?
Darnold, he lost the football. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball is squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
Here's Michael Pilardi now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. And this crowd has certainly liked what they've seen. Their guys fully expected to win this one coming in, and they have not disappointed as they've got the big lead here in the 4th. They'll try and run some clock now with Bell. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Gabbert. He's looking deep for Bell. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Jeremy Chin picks it up. And the Panthers are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around a defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, His assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column, but as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
From the 22, Darnold. There again is Thomas. They've gone to him a lot. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there, it's going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Back to throw, Darnold. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1 yard line. A gain of 7 that time, second goal. To the air again, Darnold. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jamel Dean. And the Bucs are going to take possession here at their own 3 yard line. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Bell. And they'll get him down up past the 15.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
They run on first down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's 2nd down now. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Bucs, they finish off a perfect regular season, 17-0. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for Carolina, they will indeed limp to the finish line, unfortunately, as they close out a 6-11 campaign. And this is a team that has a few good pieces in place, but could stand to get deeper and younger all around. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.